Hey everybody, what's going on? Jimmy is Promo here, back again with another awesome video, and today I want to talk about one of the more unique cases that has ever been sent to me, and it's from a company that's called Pitaka. And what makes this thing unique is that it's made from aramid fibers. Now this case is the world's thinnest and lightest case. This thing comes in at around 8 to 10 grams and it is 0.65 millimeters thin. Now, aramid fibers are a class of heat-resistant and strong synthetic fibers. They are used in aerospace and military applications, also for ballistic-rated body armor fabric and ballistic composites, also in bicycle tires and as an asbestos substitute. Here on the back, it mentions that it is made from real aramid, has a slim profile, lightweight, scratch-resistant, durable, and no signal interference. Now, popping the case out of the packaging is actually super easy, and then this is when you first notice, man, this thing is super light and super thin. It actually honestly feels like it's going to break and crack if I was to bend this. So we will actually be taking this thing through a few different durability tests. So the first one I actually did a little bit earlier today, which you can see here, a few scuffs on the very bottom over here. And then I also have a few scuffs on the very top up here where the headphone jack is at. That is because I wanted to drop the Samsung Galaxy S8 Plus onto cement and asphalt to see exactly how it would fare up. So just watch here in a little bit in the video, you'll notice how it did. Now inside of here there's actually two different metal plates, and the thing that's nice about that is that here's a little magnet right here, so you can see if I was to barely knock it, it goes right on up there, and if I was to put it right back over into the middle of the case, if I knock it down just a little bit more, you can see it goes right over here. So there's a little metal bar sitting right here and then one more right around here, which is going to help you guys if you have a magnetic car mount or any type of a mount that you have at your house that has wireless charging with magnets. So this will not interfere with you wirelessly charging your phone. Now going into the scratch test, I did get myself the Mohs Hardness Test Kit, and I will let you guys know that normal glass will actually scratch at the 5.5 rating. So these I have going all the way from 2 all the way up into 9. And then the normal Samsung Galaxy S8 and the S8 Plus, I believe they usually scratch right around the 6 or 7 points. So here is the most weakest, and then now here is the next one. And this one right here is at the number 3 rating. So that right there definitely put a scratch on the inside. The little hardness test of number 2 did not. Let's actually go just a little bit further with 4. And then let's go into 5. So you can see that it gets just more deeper and deeper of a groove and more of a cut. So in terms of scratching this thing, it's actually super easy. It scratches at a lighter material or a softer material than glass. So let's actually go on the inside, and I'm going to take number 2. Does absolutely nothing. Let's go into number 3. Again, it looks as if it'll probably stay the same with the scratchings. Let's move over into 3. And let's go into 4. So in terms of scratch resistant, this case is definitely not scratch resistant in any means. The next test will be the flame resistant. So I'm going to take this little lighter and I'm going to put a little bit of a flame on the very top. So it's going to get the corner and another little spot down here in the bottom. Now I hear a little bit of crackling, but that's actually it. It's actually still pretty warm to the touch, actually through the case as well. And I bet you anything, if I was to bring it down here, this is actually where that magnet is at. So that right here will also get it quite warm as well too. So in terms of flame resistant and how does it do if it's around a fire, this one is perfectly fine, which actually is one of the key parts of what aramid does. So now what I'm going to do is, since this thing is so thin, I'm going to see if it would actually break if I was to bend it. So that really didn't do anything there. So I'm actually bending it quite hard. And that actually did a good job. I thought this thing was going to break, and it did not. So I'm hearing some cracking, and that is right about as far as I can basically get it. There we go, guys. So the bend test on this thing has actually fared up pretty well. So what I'm going to do now is, with the bend test done, the scratches, the magnet, and the fire now, and also the drop test, let's take this thing outside and let's shoot it, and let's see how that does. So far we've done several different tests with the Pitaka case. So we went through a flame test, we went through the scratch test, went through a bend test, and also a drop test. Now here's the thing, this thing is made of aramid, and the first thing I always thought of is, well, is it bulletproof? You know, this is something that is used as a fiber inside of some body armor. So I got my friend today, Tracy, and so what we're gonna do is we're gonna shoot it off today. I'm gonna be controlling all the cameras, and he's gonna be doing the shooting. He's got a much better target than I do. So first what we'll do is we're gonna shoot the spec case. This is just a normal everyday case. So this is the control group. I wanna see exactly what it does when this thing is shot. Then after that, we will shoot this case here made of aramid. So Tracy, what are you shooting today?
Okay, so for the first round, we're going to use a Ruger Mark II. And it's a 22 caliber, so it's a fairly light caliber. Let's see how it holds up to that.
Perfect. All right, let's get shooting. All right, so that first one was the smallest bullet that we have. Now we're gonna bump it up one more size. Tracy, what is this one?
Actually, we're going to try it with a Glock 19 and a 9mm. Okay, so we saw what the 9mm did. Now we're going to jump up to the 1911 45 caliber.
And there we go on the damage there for the most bottom hole with that last shot. Now we're gonna head over to the Pitaka case. So we've gone through 3 different bullet sizes with the original spec case. Now we're heading over to the Pitaka case, and I'm hoping that this one holds up better than the first one that we've seen. So now we're actually heading back to the original bullet size we went to, and again, Tracy, which one was that one?
It's a Ruger Mark II 22 caliber.
All right. Look at that fiber that this thing just blew right past. So even though it still went through the case, it went through just a little bit cleaner, but you can just see that fiber just coming right off the case. It was actually right in between where the magnet strips are at as well.
We're going to go back to the Glock 19 9mm. Now we've tried the 22 and the 9mm, we're going to go back to the 1911 45 caliber.
And here was the very last shot. So I'll tell you what, it's definitely a fun case to shoot. It's not boring at all, and you just see how much more of the fibers is popping out of that bottom piece. So this will definitely not be bulletproof if this is something you guys are interested in, but outside of that, definitely something fun to shoot. So the Pitaka case is definitely something that is interesting and unique. Now, it's not made for every single person in the world. What it's usually made for is those folks who want something extremely minimal, something that is small, not bulky in their pocket. Usually they would go out and buy something that's also just as thin or light. Possibly they would go out there and get decals or skins for their Galaxy devices. Now, this case right here is speaking to you guys. It's super light, super thin. You can also see some of the benefits that the Pitaka case would do over those other skins and decals and other thin cases. You can see where earlier in the video I did scratch this thing. You gotta remember, I'm scratching the case, which is supposed to protect your guys' Samsung devices. That's exactly what this case did. I also tested it with a little bit of a lighter test. So this thing does actually repel a lot of the heat, and it takes it in, and and it would not melt. So here is this spec case. You can see this one is actually bent where it was getting shot because the bullets were so hot and there's a lot of heat that's going in there, so it melted the rubber. So this one right here did not do that whatsoever. Also, you can see that even though it is very thin and you would almost think it's fragile, I also tried to bend it and break it. There's a little bit of cracks in there, but that's just the fibers inside. So this thing is definitely really good in terms of the bending test. And now looking back at some of the different holes, Tracy was actually very accurate with going from the very first shot being in the middle of the case to the second shot going up to the top left. And then the very middle bottom there was the very third shot that we've done. So it's actually really fun to see, you know, just how accurate he was able to get, but also what it does to the case. So these ones here just goes right through. It creates huge holes. It's actually a clean cut right through the case, which, you know, obviously it's going to do that to rubber. And then this one, on the other hand, you can just remember all those different threads and fibers that was coming through for the case. So make sure you guys click on the link below this video if this is something you guys are interested in. It's awesome for anybody who wanted to have a minimalistic case. You know, we did the scratch test. It passed that because it saved your phone. The drop test did not save it whatsoever, but also decals and skins would also not save your phone. We did the flame test, which would definitely save your phone. The other decals and skins would actually just catch fire and melt. And then we also shot this thing with a gun, and it just went right through, going through the fibers. So I hope you guys liked this video. Make sure you guys hit on like and subscribe. And don't forget, it's not only with the Samsung Galaxy S8 Plus, you can also get yourself one for the Samsung Galaxy S8. Hey, if you guys like this video, make sure you guys do a good turn daily as well as a pay it forward, and please hit that subscribe button on the very bottom left hand side. Also, would you guys be able to check out the very next video on the very bottom right hand side? And if you like videos similar to this, check out the playlist on the very top right hand side of all of my gadgets and stuff, the reviews and unboxings.